撃されたり押された気分がハマるの当然ジリーのレーシングウキウキノリノリ乗り物選んで怪物倒してへんてこレーシングジリーコポンコツドンケツいやいやよハートバックバックハイテンションウキウキノリノリ乗り物選んで怪物倒してへんてこレーシング
Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? This is Nin Rose signing in once again, and welcome back to more Let's Play Diddy Kong Racing. And we've got a very special episode among us today. In the last episode, we totally kicked some Dragon Forest butt with Molly and Ash, and now in this episode, we've got two new special guests from Tea Commentary.
That is absolutely correct. That was an absolutely flawless intro by Nin Rose. The judges are taking into consideration that intro by the books.
Yes, very clean, very well pronounced. Beautiful work there. Just introduce ourselves in the commentary box here. It's Joey and Jordan.
That's right, welcome.
Bringing you quality commentaries.
That's it.
At tea time.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Make sure you have your cup of tea ready at the whim because this is an absolute gentleman's game. So we are very excited to bring you this. First, it's the warm-up round of the donuts. That's a very nice donut.
Good donuts with a good cup of tea is always a beautiful way to start the morning.
That's absolutely right. And it looks like Nin Rose is now switching to the aeroplane motif, and I think he wants to take this episode up into a high note.
Yes, definitely trying to start us on a high note. Obviously in the air, clearly he's wanting that bit of aerial maneuverability, bit of lift to get him up and going. After that, he should be fine.
That's absolutely right. Nin Rose now sitting in the open mouth of a pig, waiting to drive into its brown throat. I think that's something that you should see a doctor about, as your throat is now completely brown.
Yes, it could be a case of a viral infection.
We're not doctors here at Tea Commentaries, but we know when we see someone at health risk, that is definitely someone at health risk.
Always see your doctor if something seems up with your throat.
And that's absolutely 100%
We'll hand this back to Nin Rose to take over from here.
Yes.
Alrighty, well, yes, thank you guys, that was so fantastic. Alrighty, however though, we will be taking on the Wizpig in Adventure 2, but I'm going to throw in a little twist. The guys here from CUNT Commentary will be playing it instead. How about that, huh?
Oh, that sounds absolutely fantastic, but we'll have to see with the judges. One of the judges think, I think the judges are alright with that.
Yes, it's got a passing on the with the officials. They're saying it's perfectly fine on their end. Getting the commentators involved is a very unconventional approach. But you know, if the officials say it's in the rule books, it's in the rule books.
The judges are flicking through the books as we speak, but I think they're alright with this. It's a bit unorthodox.
Do we have the green light, boys?
Waiting on the
judges.
Yes,
that's a green light. That's a green light coming in.
Oh, fantastic. So who's going to go first? I think it should be Joey. Why not?
Yes, okay. I am preparing myself for potentially the worst attempt at a Wizpig race seen in all time. I have not played this game since 1733. That's a long time, mate.
That is an absolutely long time. 1733 was a high note of Diddy Kong Racing. It was when Neil Armstrong first actually completed the game in front of the masses, which was absolutely fantastic to see. It was a highlight of this game, absolutely.
Yes, and I think he was playing what was it? Bumper the astronaut, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Bumper the astronaut. I believe so, or the proctologist. I'm not 100% sure at the moment. So far, Joey is going for a bit of a swim.
Yes, as you can see, I am absolutely terrible. Doing two things at once is not an easy goal.
That's absolutely right. Now, we've just heard from the judges. The judges are saying that that's not how a car would work in water. They're saying that would actually sink, and they're going to have to deduct points from this, unfortunately.
Yes, I am willing to accept any sort of deduction and points for this poor example of driving behaviour. Kids, do not try it at home. You will most likely drown.
That's absolutely right. And we just saw Wizpig run past. He's going for a bit of a jog. I think he's off to prove that he can go to the market.
Yes, it looks like he's obviously left something running because he's sprinting like his fridge.
Yes, I believe Wizpig has left his chicken in the oven, as you would say.
And that is officially the first lap. As once again, I am very sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for the sheer absolute barbarity of this driving performance. It's absolutely terrible. As I said, I haven't played this since 1733. It's a long time ago, and obviously I came second.
Yeah, it looks like a 2-wind. You look like you scored a 2-wind, and the judges are going to have to leave it at a 2-wind.
Yes.
That's it. Well, nice try, Joey. Nice try, but I think it's now Jordan's turn.
Yes. I will graciously take this up on the commentary box. As I scoot over in the commentary box, there's a slight change in seating, but that should be fine. Alright, let's take flight. Make sure to do the advanced maneuvers as shown in previous episodes, because the judges do watch for advanced maneuvers. They just don't want to watch terrible flight.
Yes. As you know, the judges do take in your past behaviour, in your quality skill to make sure, if you're performing at peak performance. If you mess up, they will be aware of it.
Absolutely right. They are judging me quite harshly as well because of the last performance as well, so I have a lot to stand up to.
Yes, I'm sorry about that, mate, but as I said, 1733, that's a good 300 years.
I think I played a good 100 years after that, so I was in 1833 when I last played this as well, so it's been an absolute while since I played it. All I know is you got to watch the advanced techniques of this game in order to fully appreciate the fine art. I think I'm keeping up quite well with Wizpig. He seems to be in some sort of rush. I don't think he wants to hang out with me much longer, so I think I might go for a swim. It looks like the rain on the track has caused a bit of a delay, keeping everyone in their homes instead of watching this race.
Yes, the rain is affecting the crowds, is affecting apparently the performance of the drivers today. Clearly they're not on top of their game. Understandable, 300 odd years of not playing this game will do that to you.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% correct there. I think the judges will mitigate some point deduction just for the
poor conditions.
The very poor conditions, indeed. It's something that the racers cannot control, being that there is a downfall in the. Okay, that was a very strange jump there. Just checking in with the judges. Do you think they're all right with that?
It's a bit unconventional. I'll get their opinion when it gets into the commentary box.
Yes, absolutely right. So it looks like we're on the final lap. A very unorthodox turn there. He's turning around.
I think he might be going to try to take the competition out somehow. It's a risky move, and no, he didn't get it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the judges are a bit disappointed in that last play there. That was a bit ungentlemanly. As we have stated, this is a gentleman's game, and that was a bit on called for.
Yes. Very poor play there. It's going to get some deductions by the officials. Maybe get disqualifications in the future.
Absolutely right. We'll have to wait to hear from the tribunal about that. The tribunal of Diddy Kong Racing.
Yes, I believe we're crossing back to Asterisk Rose in the field. What have you got for us, mate?
Mate, I'm just gonna try to win. That's my goal.
That is an absolutely fantastic way to play. Make sure you win. That's usually how victories are achieved.
Yes, though according to the Canadian Prime Minister, I believe, when you win, they lose or something like that.
Along the lines of that, the Canadian Prime Minister has given such good quotes on Diddy Kong Racing in the past he's a very reputable source. So here we are in the commentary box. We are watching this final race here, and it looks like Nin Rose taking a happy 2nd place, which is all right. And,
yes, he's making some good time performance-wise, doing probably just as well as our second competitor. Though obviously it takes the lead.
Yeah, it looks like Wizpig, a bit upset from the last game, decides to kick Nin Rose into the water, just because he was a bit upset with the last play, keeping in mind that Nin Rose and the last competitor look very similar in species and color, and he's going pretty well so far. Wizpig still able to be seen on the screen, which is
it's a good sign. It's a good sign. It obviously means he's got some sort of advantage there. It also means that he can try and outstrike his opponent.
Absolutely right. And it looks like he's missed a triangle. The judges are not very happy with the fact that the triangle has been missed, but he's made up with it by getting these 2 triangles right in a row. That's absolutely wonderful play.
It's hopefully he can use that to turn this whole around, because he's unfortunately beginning to fall behind.
Yeah. The judges, however, will mitigate some point deduction, as we said earlier, with the fact that there is that downfall. The people are locked in their homes not watching this race, which I don't know what's wrong with them. I think I would suffer through hell and back to watch a competitive gentleman's game like this.
Yes. It would be. It's a real shame that people are missing out because of the weather. Really disappointing, but that's how it is.
Yeah, and it looks like Nin Rose ending with a bit of a dip in the ocean. It's not too bad, and the circle wipe has taken us back to this land here. So just in the commentary box, what do we think of that last round? That wasn't too bad, was it? It was a very close race there.
Yes, he was really pushing very hard there. Couldn't get across the line in the end, but the effort was all that matters.
Absolutely right, and we do have to take into the fact that he did get kicked into the water, which was a bit of a ungentlemanly thing to do, but well, that's the nature of this race.
Yes. Quickly, we're going to cross to Nin Rose in the field. See his thoughts on how he's doing so far.
Yeah.
How you doing out there, mate?
Yeah, pretty difficult, I will admit. This is in mirror mode, so it's all in reverse, which is a very it's very complicated to get used to it. That's for sure.
The judges are understanding that they have placed this in a mirror dimension, and it can be a bit difficult for racers at times, especially with the weather conditions, so point deduction will be minimal as well.
Yes, that's definitely the case. Conditions are very, very poor for this kind of race, especially with a track that is not very conventional, as it is in the mirror dimension. It can throw you off, especially when you expect a left turn but you get it right. It does throw people off.
Absolutely right, yeah.
In the end, it's up to the drivers to compensate for that and try and figure it out themselves.
That's absolutely correct. And it also looks like it's a big sort of donut track as well, so it loops around. So you do see a lot of similar sights. So maybe Nin Rose will find a way around and figure out a unique sort of shortcut to this situation.
Yes. Obviously, each driver has their own techniques. They do have their own secret methods of beating these tracks. We'll wait and see what Nin Rose pulls out. See what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, and it looks like Nin Rose might have to settle on a 2-end place and go for another swim.
Yes. Look, this is a very harsh race. Obviously, none of our drivers are doing too well today. Nin Rose leading the table at the moment. But out of that, it's still very difficult race, very difficult conditions, very difficult to actually win this race.
Absolutely. Wizpig is one of the world-renowned sprinters, and he is actually a very, very harsh competitor to go up against, especially in this sort of weather conditions and dimensional valleys.
Yes. It does. It's a very daunting competition there. Someone who clearly can outspeed you with ease. You have to stay on the top of your game. As we can see, Nin Rose does have the lead at the moment. He needs to hold that. Oh, he just lost it there.
Yeah, unfortunately, He had the once prize place, which is all right, and we are now into lap 2. Lap 2 out of 3 to be exact, and with 39 seconds on the clock, he's back to once place. Back to once place is absolutely fantastic.
He's got to hold on to this lead if he wants to finish this race and get that trophy. It's a very, very hard call because, as we said, Wizpig, he is a very, very strong competitor. Good in all conditions, very good on all tracks, even mirror dimensions. And he's got the speed that gives him a massive advantage.
That's absolutely right. We just saw just then Wizpig taking his speed to the next level and clearing over Nin Rose. And it's quite unfortunate to see that such a low as the competitor just got onto that once place, but now he has second on 2-wind.
Yes, he's going to push very hard there. That could cost him the race, and it looks like it has. Wizpig clears the lead again.
Yeah. It was a
very close,
remarkable attempt at trying to do it, and it looks like Nin Rose is going for an unorthodox approach to this. He is placing a reset on this. I don't know if the judges will be all right with that. Messing with the laws of time is a very taboo thing in this gentleman's race.
Yes, we getting back in, calling the last judgment where Wizpig kicked him off the stage. Unfortunately, because of the previous behaviour, it did pass the officials. They have no problem with it.
Yeah.
They're now consulting the use of time manipulation to see if there is anything binding in the rules that put this as an unorthodox and potentially illegal play.
It will take a little while, but it is good to know that there's no favoritism in this gentleman's race. We had the kick earlier, and now we've got time, warping back. So here we go. It looks like Nin Rose is here with a good once place. It's a very, very decent once place as well, and looks like Wizpig, still in 2-wind place, is trying to close the gap.
Yes, Nin Rose, he's got a very good lead at the moment. He's pulling ahead. He needs to keep sure that he stays on this lead. If he drops back a second, that's game over for him.
I'm sure Wizpig would not allow Nin Rose to drop in any sort of way. If there is a slight crack in the wall that he has built to keep the Wizpig out of the race, he will find it and he will jump the wall.
Yes, and looks like we're coming close to the finish line.
Yep.
And Nin Rose is leading.
Nin Rose?
That's it, he's won the race. Beautiful goal. Beautiful there, mate.
Absolutely fantastic. He has won the once place, and that is an absolutely fantastic thing. Wizpig now, it looks like he's a bit upset, calling on the power of Zeus to try and smite Nin Rose. Looks like the judges aren't happy with that, and he is now going to
banish to the Shadow Realm by the looks of it. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely appalling play to call on the power of Zeus. So it's definitely something to be upset about with the judges.
We're going to cross to Nin Rose in the field after his video went. How do you feel, mate?
Oh, mate, it feels so good. It's always feels so good to beat a Wizpig.
Yes. You obviously there you had to push very hard. Did you feel the pressure there?
I did. I had to just get my bearings, learn to track in reverse, like you boys suggested, and yeah, there you go. I managed to pull through. Yeah. Green boost and all. That's it.
Yeah, that was absolutely a fantastic play. One that will go down in the history books of Diddy Kong Racing.
Yes, very much so. Obviously, he now gets to see the winning celebration. Here we have Bumper the Enchilada on the field.
Yes.
Just to celebrate there. Everybody's coming out for this magnificent occasion.
That's absolutely... Bumper the Bandicoot is one of the most prized races in the history of Diddy Kong Racing. And it looks like we have a bit of mysterious happenings here on the end party. It looks like Wizpig wanted to join. And it looks like they're going to play Tiggy, and it looks like Wizpig is it.
Yes, it looks like we have a bit of development on the field. Wizpig has come back apparently from his Shadow Realm visit. Obviously, the judges seem to have let him off early this time. Hopefully, on a good behaviour bond. If not, he may be seeing some jail time in the future.
That's absolutely right. The tribunal is one not to be trifled with, and what? It looks like Wizpig is trying to be the helicopter in Call of Duty, and it looks like he's getting a helicopter call in.
Yes, he's called in a strafing run from an AC-130 to provide some air support. Hopefully, the competitors are still around after this. This is very, very dangerous for everybody involved.
It looks like first aid has been called to the event, and we are now going to have to go to a commercial break because that is something that we don't want to televise on this program.
Yes, very, very disappointing. Let's bring you back into the commentary box for now, and let's get some discussion going on what we just saw in all this.
I think Nin Rose definitely had the was definitely the underdog in this race. As you could see, Wizpig seemed to have some sort of Attack on Titan growth and seems to be quite big compared to Nin Rose. So he was definitely the underdog, quite literally. So I think it's absolutely amazing to watch a comeback as this. Unfortunately, Wizpig has numerous reports of being salty, and it looks like he's taken it out on the other races, as you just witnessed, unfortunately.
Yes, as you know, you've seen what's just happened. You were there in person. What do you think is going on at the moment? Like,
my Mike Conker is like having a heart attack. Like he saw his eyes flash before. His life.
His life
flashed before his eyes.
That's understandable.
But it would have been a scary experience.
Yeah,
like he's just being shot at by that Call of Duty helicopter.
Yes, you were clearly very shaken.
Everyone was shaken.
Everybody is quite shaken here. We've got to cut to commercial break. There's absolute carnage on the field. There's bodies everywhere. It's a huge mess. That's
right. But with all that saying, this is a game, so obviously they'll get their lives back anyway.
It looks like we are striking a deal as we speak with the Grim Reaper in order to sort of work out who gets to live and who has to unfortunately perish.
Yes. Hopefully it's not too big costly. We do want this to work out for everybody in the end.
And did this boy see that? Like he went for Conker because Conker was the one that beated him. You know, like he was literally aiming for Conker. You saw that.
We definitely saw that, and the judges saw that too, and it might be a permanent strike on Wizpig's record, which is unfortunate.
Yes, it was clearly a premeditated attack. I'm not. I'm assuming he's going to claim responsibility for the attack. If not, maybe someone in Syria will.
Maybe it's possible that Syria could be involved. We are waiting for the investigation tribunal to figure out exactly where to take this from here. Which is and it looks like we're back. It looks like we've restored normality here in the race field as Diddy Kong welcomes us back to the match.
Yes, it seems we're returning back to normal service, and looks like we'll be getting back to races. Not sure what's happening with Wizpig or what happened with all that, but it seems everything's sorted now.
Everything seems to be sorted, but I think it's a good time to give our little heroes a rest after that bad experience that they just witnessed.
Yeah, that's absolutely
a very good call there, mate.
I think this is a good time to end this episode off, don't you think, boys?
Yeah, I believe this is where we will cut normal transmission and just return you to the YouTube channel program because we do need to get our bearings on what's happened after this attack.
Yes, we'll try and get back to you as soon as we know any news. This has been Tea Commentaries.
Yes.
I'm Joey, this is Jordan.
Yes. And this is Nin Rose.
And we'll be seeing you and Tea next time.